Friends, general elections in Bangladesh were held on 12th of February 2026 and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has won with a landslide victory of more than 200 seats. About 70 plus seats have been won by the Jamaat-e-Islam and just one seat by the NCP, which was the newly formed party by the students. The Jamaat-e-Islam basically lost because they are hardliners and separatists, and during these 18 months after the July revolution, when Sheikh Hasina relinquished her power and went to India in exile, and the Awami League was broken down and boycotted from these elections. Though Sheikh Hasina says that these elections were rigged and unfair. But then here, like I was saying, the Jamaat-e-Islam has not been able to hold its ground because of its separatist and hardliner thought process. They were against the women and they have called working women as prostitutes, and believe it, not a single lady has been given a ticket from this party. And in these 18 months, they have taken Bangladesh back instead of having moved it ahead. So keep watching this video till the end, in which I will try to give you what Bangladesh should do in the future so that it does not hamper its ties with India and it can move forward and again start moving on the road to progress. Before that, I would request you to volunteer or donate to our NGO Uma Dream Foundation, where the tagline is Right to Education, and also buy something from Sonajuri Arts so that our artisans can be motivated and we can also serve you better. Now moving on, like I said, the general elections in Bangladesh were held on 12th of February 2026 to elect members of the Jatiya Samsad, and this was the elections after the July revolution of 24 that ended the 15-year long rule of Sheikh Hasina. And Tarique Rahman won a landslide victory with 2/3 of seats, and the Jamaat-e-Islam secured a second place. More than 127 million people were eligible to vote in the election, making it the biggest democratic exercise of the year. About 2,028 candidates contested for the 299 seats in the election. However, Hasina's Awami League, the winner of the previous 4 elections, was banned and could not participate. This made the election a bipolar contest between BNP and the 11-party alliance, which was led by the Jamaat-e-Islami and the National Citizen Party, the NCP. The election took place under the interim government led by Yunus. The key campaign issues and agendas included unemployment, corruption, extortion, proportional representation, and promises to the youth and the minority voters. So, like I said, the academicians and the economists have called this election of ideologies an election where the charters will have to be done on ground so that the country again can move ahead, because there has been diversity in the thought processes. The minorities have started feeling insecure. So we need to build bridges which will give faith to everybody in Bangladesh, and also so that the trade can move forward, which had gone into a recession in the last 18 months because of the problems which were created by the caretaker government. The Charter of Tarique is basically to economically take the country forward and also to have 2 houses like ours, which you have in the parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And each head of the state or the Prime Minister not to have more than 2 sessions, that is 10 years, and not to stay on for ages like 15 years and beyond. The judges will be elected by the Judicial Commission and not by the Prime Minister. And here, after taking oath as the Prime Minister, Tarique Rahman has tried avoiding questions of extradition of Sheikh Hasina. He and his advisors have said that extradition of Sheikh Hasina will not be a roadblock for the Indo-Bangladesh relations, and as of now it seems to be a silver lining in the dark cloud. Because, let me put it very blatantly, Bangladesh is secured by 3 sides by India, and all its trade routes have to be through India, be it with China, Nepal or anywhere. The sea routes are very long, and India also has to think very cautiously, because presently Bangladesh has started having pro-Pakistani stances, which is not good for us. And also they are ready to invite China for hydel projects and other projects also in the country, which can be a matter of concern for us. There was also a thought process of building bases around the Siliguri chicken's neck, and we will have to keep an eye on this and not let our guard down, because the bases that we have built, they have to be built up in infrastructure, and we cannot just let it down, because it is not only Bangladesh but Pakistan and China who can also be using the base in Bangladesh, that is Monirhat, from where they can pinprick us. Then there were thought processes of upgrading the Army, Navy and the Air Force of Bangladesh, and now with this present government we will have to see how much headway they do to the whole project, which was already on the drawing board, with Bangladesh Air Force procuring some J-17s from the Pakistan Army, which are basically Chinese aircrafts, upgrading of the Bangladesh Army. But then Tarique Rahman presently has to think about pushing up the employability of the youth, upgrading the economics to take it to the next level so that it can again come back into an upswing. And Modi was the first person to wish Tarique Rahman, and our Speaker of the House, Mr. Birla, attended his swearing in ceremony. And this has been a positive step. And also the Chief Minister of West Bengal has invited Tarique and his family to Calcutta and has sent sweets. But then in the whole process, the major speed breaker was the water treaty during the BNP's regime, which was anti-India thoughts. So the Ganga water treaty and the Teesta water are going to expire in December 26. So let us see how this water sharing treaty will work out, because presently the thought process of the government is that Bangladesh's foreign policy will be there to benefit both the nations, which during Sheikh Hasina's time is said to have been governed by India's foreign policy and were benefiting India more than Bangladesh. So the foreign policies now have to join arms and move together. So what Tarique Rahman also has told our Prime Minister, that he wants to join hands with India so that we can move forward and strengthen the ties so that Bangladesh also can move forward, India also can benefit, and we can have a friendly neighbor instead of a separatist neighbor. Because with Bangladesh going into a separatist mode, Calcutta also suffers in its trade because the medical tourism and other working forces do suffer. So let us hope in due time this relation becomes better with the man in him working towards the upliftment of the Bangladeshi youth and the populace. Jai Hind.